Hmm. Hey, everybody. Whoops. There we go. Sorry about that. Um, how's it going? Um, let me see here. Let me move some stuff around before I start talking here. Supposedly the sound seems to be working fine. So I guess I'll just get into it here. I hope everybody's doing well. It's me, Ash. If you don't already know that, I guess, if you just randomly stumbled upon this for whatever reason. Yeah, today's my birthday. It's almost over, thankfully. Nah, I don't hate birthdays or anything. I just, like most XJWs, I didn't really celebrate mine growing up. I just kind of acknowledged that I was older every year. That's kind of what they do. If they even do anything at all, it's usually just that they're like, oh, look at that. It's the time of year where you are now older than you were last year. It's really awkward. Yeah, this birthday is it's a little different for me. This is one that I was never looking forward to. I was always afraid. Well, not always. I was afraid starting at the age of 17 when my mother passed away. I was always afraid that I might not make it to this age, which is the age that she passed away. Yeah. Now, if you remember, she died pretty young. She passed away at the age of 32. She was approximately like halfway through her 32nd year of life when she passed away due to the blood doctrine. It's a strange feeling to approach the age that your parent was when they passed away. It's weird to surpass that, to surpass their lifespan, to outlive them. It's weird. It's also kind of hard to deal with. Just knowing that, that if I make it the next 6 months, then I've lived longer than my mother did. That I've had more experiences in life than she got to. It's just weird. And unfortunately, this weekend is also Mother's Day weekend. I know, right? Great. Which was another weird holiday, growing up. Like, you didn't really acknowledge it, and also, Jehovah's Witnesses would be like, you're supposed to celebrate mothers all the time because blah, 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 that thing. Mother's Day was hard for me after she passed away and I was no longer a witness, because I felt like, finally I'm out of this cult, but now I can't even, show my mother that I appreciate her on a day that everybody else gets to do it. I don't know, it just makes you feel left out, and also like really makes you super aware of the fact that you're missing out on an experience and a person in your life that everybody else, well, not everybody else, but that a lot of people have. And, so I'm kind of making this video not just for me, but also for anybody else out there who doesn't have their mother because they lost them, or, because they're being shunned. If they lost them like in the physical way, or if they lost them in the way that the cult took them away. I feel you. Not having my mother in my life, I have certainly felt that lack, that absence of her presence in my life. So, yeah, yeah, I feel you. If you're one of the people like me who's without a mother this weekend. Mother's Day is also kind of a tricky thing for me now, for obvious reasons. It's a holiday that used to just be weird because my mom was dead, and because I was a mother, uh, it was just weird and depressing. And also because it sometimes Mother's Day would fall on my birthday, or I should say, yeah, Mother's Day would fall on my birthday. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, it was just a really weird, unpleasant kind of thing for me. And now it's extra weird. It's got that other layer of weirdness because because my mom is gone, and I no longer identify publicly or anything like that anywhere as a female or as a woman. So like there's some awkward stuff, like people still, like last year, people were still wishing me a happy Mother's Day. People were still like trying to give me Mother's Day gifts and things like that. I'm not talking about my kids either. I'm talking about like other people. And I'm just like, it's a little awkward. This year though, yeah, I made sure not to, I made sure that my kids' school, knew about the fact that I'm trans and everything, because I didn't want to spend the entire year being misgendered and feeling like crap the whole time, walking around with like a name tag that didn't have my name on it and all that stuff. So yeah, the teacher had the kids make little keychains and stuff, and it's really cute. It's it says, "Dear Dad, I love you because you make me happy. Love, Elizabeth, 2019." I really love it. It's my first, I guess, early Father's Day gift, because the kids won't be in school during Father's Day, so I guess that's why they do this. From what Elizabeth told me in class, they also called it a Mother's/Father's Day gift too. So I guess they were being inclusive to at least some degree. So that's good. But yeah, Mother's Day is kind of a weird thing for me still, though, because like, all the implications, all of the past dysphoria that it's caused me, and I think about my kids too. Like, if it makes them feel weird, I wonder, that suddenly that's not a thing for them either, because I know how it makes me feel not to have my mom around. But I try to reassure myself that I'm not actually like gone. I'm here. I'm just an extra dad. And it's not like my kids never had, I guess, a mother, so to speak. I mean, I was that for many years. But yeah, and this whole weekend is just lots and lots of baggage just converging. Yeah, it's weird, but I'm getting through it, and I'm trying to process the whole outliving my mom thing. I'm quite honestly not really sure how I feel about that, other than it's a little unsettling and kind of depressing, I guess. It's just, I don't know that I feel scared. Like for a year or so, no, actually a couple of years or so, I felt like legitimately scared for some reason that I wasn't going to live even to this age at this point, like that I was going to die before that. Yeah. I'm also scared for outliving her too. Like I feel like anything I do after this point, like if it's not very productive, then I'm wasting my life. You know, because I have this extra life, extra chunk of life, you know, post the time that my mom would have been alive, and like I'm not doing anything really amazing with it, and I feel like it's a waste, you know. Sometimes I do feel like that. And I wonder, like, if my mom could see me now, would she be, you know, would she be proud? I think she would be okay with me crashing halls and stuff. I think she'd be okay with that. I don't know about proud, but I think she would understand and would probably support me. But would she be proud of what I'm choosing to do with the time that I have that she didn't get to have? And I know some people are probably thinking, why is that even important to you? You know, just live your best life and all that jazz. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe I feel a little guilty that I'm still here and she's not. And I feel like my mom had a lot of potential and she could be doing some really great things right now if her life had not been cut short. She was in her final semester of college when she passed away. Like she was literally about to finish a degree in computer science. So, yeah, there's definitely some guilt attached to that, attached to the fact that I'm still here and she's not. I don't know if that's literally survivor's guilt or not, but I think it's somewhere along those lines. I mean, I guess, yeah, it is kind of survivor's guilt, right? I survived the cult and she didn't. In some ways, I don't feel like I entirely survived. I feel like parts of me died on the way out. Anyway, my birthday's been over for 4 minutes. Yay! That's great. Yeah, I just wanted to share that because it's been on my mind a lot. I've been pretty depressed about it because, yeah, like I said, there's a lot attached to that, attached to this reaching this milestone in my life. But here I am. And guess all I can do with this now is try to use my time wisely. And that doesn't necessarily mean the things that I used to think it meant. I used to think it meant spending every waking hour trying to, you know, trying to wake people up from the cold or trying to pour myself into other, you know, into other social issues, trying to help my own family, trying to just be everything for everybody. But, you know, the way to spend my time wisely, I think, in my life now starts mostly at home, priority-wise. Like, got to take care of my family. I got to take care of myself and my mental health, my physical health. You know, I gotta start at home. I gotta prioritize that stuff first. That's where my time is most wisely spent. And everything else after that, you know, that's good. That's a good way to spend my time too. But those are things that I should be doing, like, in addition to the main priorities of my life. And I think this is just kind of an evolution that a lot of activists have gone through before, and that most activists will eventually go through. Is moving forward to the point where they realize that, you know, You can't just throw yourself completely into it forever. There comes a time when priorities shift, and you realize that you've spent enough time focusing mainly on that with all of your extra energy, and that's enough. I mean, like I said, I'll never quit activism entirely, but I will certainly start being more mindful of how I go about it. I'm gonna definitely prioritize my health and my family and all of those things first. I've always been pretty good about prioritizing my family before that kind of stuff, but my health, I gotta admit, I've definitely dropped the ball on that before, and I've let that slip sometimes in favor of activism, both the mental and physical health. So, it comes a time where, you realize that you got to know your limits, and you got to do what you got to do. And I think that's what my mom would want too. I think that's what she would be telling me if she were here. Like, you've done a lot of stuff in the past couple of years, you don't have to keep constantly at it. You're more useful if you take a break every now and then, because you're not going to be all burnt out. Yeah, I think she would agree with that. And she would definitely be telling me to take care of myself, like, instead of just neglecting how I'm functioning, and how my health is and all that, neglecting that just so that I can do what I think is right, I guess. Like, because it's a good cause. It's just the execution needs to be a little better, because like I said, I'm not resting enough between these things. I'm not taking enough time out to take care of myself after I do these kinds of things, or at least I hadn't in the past. And so that's changing. And I hope in that way, moving forward, taking care of myself, but also continuing to do activism in a more responsible way. I think that's how I'm choosing to cope right now with the weird feelings that I have about reaching this age and outliving my mom. And also how I'm trying to cope with, reaching this point in activism as well. Like, there's some overlap there, Trying to cope by making sure that I'm spending my time more wisely now, even though I really should have started sooner. I guess better late than never. I mean, I don't want. I really am. I'm worried that, like, any moment after this point that I do, any moment after this point on, like, is going to be a waste of time if I'm not very very careful about how I spend it. Because I feel like every moment after 32 is bonus, I guess. Almost like it wasn't supposed to be, like I wasn't supposed to have this time. I feel like I don't deserve it almost sometimes, because my mom didn't get it. Because there are so many people in the world that, they pass away before they reach this point in life. So, yeah. Yeah, I have some feelings, like I said, of guilt, like I don't deserve to be here for that. But hey, I am here, so I'm going to try to make the most of it. I'm going to try to not waste my time, this bonus time that I get. We have entered the bonus phase of my life officially. Everything else before was like just me being paranoid until I reached this point, I guess. But here I am. I've arrived. I made it, and I didn't think I was going to make it. I didn't think, for so many reasons, I didn't think I would live to this point, but here I am. And that's something. That's definitely something. Anyway, hug your mothers. And for those of you who were raised by a parent of another gender, and you didn't have a mother in your life for whatever reason, feel free to show them appreciation too. I'm sure they won't mind your other parent. I can say that when my kids tell me things like that, it means a lot. It means so much to know that I'm not like completely screwing up as a parent, I guess. It means a lot. So hug your parent. Tell them you appreciate them. If you have both, hell, give both of them a hug. If you have more than two parents, give all of them hugs. Because that's like a huge, it's a huge blessing to have any number of parents in your life. I don't really have either of mine. I mean, my mom's passed away. My grandmother, who mostly raised me, is shunning me. My father, even though he said he was not going to disown me or anything because I'm trans, hasn't spoken to me or responded to me, pretty much since last year, actually. Yeah. The last time I heard from my dad, I think, was right around my birthday. I think on my birthday, actually. He sent me a text saying, you're getting older, kiddo. And yeah, I haven't heard from him. So yeah, not having your parents in your life sucks. But also, here's a shout out to the people that don't have their parents in their life by choice because they're toxic. High five yourself, because you probably did a lot of your own parenting for yourself, and you probably learned your own coping mechanisms, and you probably are a very strong person if you had to do that kind of crap and you had to go through it. Just high five yourself, hug yourself, love yourself, and be grateful for yourself and for your support system, whatever and whoever that may be. Because you're awesome too, because you had to go through life with, with probably narcissistic parents, depending on what your situation was. But usually that's what happens. That's why people cut parents out of their lives. It's because they were narcissistic or otherwise abusive, So shout out to you guys too. Because I know that sucks and that people forget about that, and that's a thing that people purposely don't want their parents in their lives sometimes, which is valid. Yeah. So, everybody, I hope you have a great weekend. My weekend is shaping up to be probably a lot better than I expected it to. I actually didn't expect to have a very good weekend because like I said, I've been depressed already. And I'm not big on birthdays because of the growing up witness thing and all that. And also in my adult life, most of my birthdays have been pretty, But I hope your weekend's good. I hope it's pleasant, and that if it's not pleasant, that unpleasant bit is not very long. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna hop off, call it a night, and I'll see you around soon, I guess. I've got more coming because, yeah, definitely got lots of things to yell about. Well, not yell. Not all of them are yells. I just like talking about different subjects, and I will be back to talk about those subjects soon. So stay tuned in the near future, and be well, please. Take care of yourselves and each other.